Now this part of the video will go into detail on the structure of the sensory neuron. So you have seen how the structure of the motor neuron is. Now we're going to look at the structure of the sensory neuron and see what are the differences and what are the similarities that we can find. Okay, so the sensory neuron actually stems from the sense organ, and that's where the receptor is. So I give you an example. An example of sense organ is like the skin of the skin of your hand, on your leg, or any part of your body. Alright, so they actually sense changes in stimulus around in the environment, and they respond to it. So when sense organs sense something, a nerve impulse is generated. It passes down this dendron here, and you see that the dendron is very long. It goes downwards towards the cell body. You can see that the cell body differs from that of the motor neuron. The cell body here is not irregular in shape. It is very smooth, circular, and it is regular in shape. So that's one way you can differentiate the sensory neuron from the motor neuron. So after the nerve impulse passes the cell body, it goes out towards the axon, and the axon here is very short. Okay, we call the myelin sheath and a node of Ranvier. And then we've got dendrites again. I'm just going to have you change this to the axon terminals. Okay, please spell it out yourself, axon terminals. Alright, so the axon terminals always is the one that comes after the axon. So to prevent yourself from being confused, do not write dendrites on both ends. So here is a table for you to compare the differences between the sensory neuron and the motor neuron. Is an essential and important part of your learning objectives for this chapter. So ensure that you understand the differences and you are able to label and highlight the differences, explain, describe, and label the differences between the sensory and the motor neuron in your examinations. Know also that they differ in their functions and not just their appearance.